Over 60% of Americans earning six figures still live paycheck to paycheck. Let that sink in for a second. These are people making more money than most of the country, and somehow they're still stuck in the same cycle. So if making more money doesn't fix your finances, what does? Because the difference between them and the 1% isn't income. It's how their money is managed, and once you see the system they use, you won't look at your paycheck the same way again. If you zoom out for a moment, a pattern starts to emerge, and it's not a comfortable one. People aren't stuck because they don't earn enough. They're stuck because their money moves without direction. It usually begins with something positive: a raise, a promotion, a better opportunity. For a short time, it feels like you've finally broken through. But then something subtle happens. Your life quietly upgrades to match your income. Not all at once, but piece by piece. A slightly nicer place, a car that feels more deserved, more dinners out, more convenience, more subscriptions you barely notice. Individually, none of these choices seem irresponsible, but collectively, they reshape your entire financial reality. And that's where the disconnect begins. Because on paper, everything says you should be ahead. You earn more than you used to. You've progressed. But when you check your account, it tells a different story. No real margin, no real buffer, no real progress. So the issue isn't that you're not making enough. It's that your money has no system controlling where it goes. And without that, more income doesn't create wealth. It just creates a more expensive version of the same problem. Rule number 1. Every dollar needs a job. This is where everything starts. Not with investing. Not with cutting expenses. With assigning purpose. The moment money hits your account, it should already be spoken for. If it isn't, something else will decide for you, and that something is usually lifestyle. That's how money disappears. Not through one big mistake, but through 100 small, unplanned ones. Rule number 2. Invest first, not last. Most people treat investing like an afterthought. They pay bills, spend what they want, and hope something is left. Nothing ever is. The 1% flip that order completely. The first money that moves is the money that builds their future. Because time matters more than amount. If you invest $300 a month starting at 25, you end up with around $1.2 million by 65. Wait until 35, doing the exact same thing, and you're looking at about $500,000. That's a difference of over $700,000 created by time, not effort. The system isn't complicated, but the order is everything. Rule number 3. Your income is not your problem. That idea sounds wrong at first, because it feels like more money would solve everything. But if that were true, people earning six figures wouldn't still feel stuck. The real issue isn't how much you make. It's what happens to your money the moment it arrives. Without a system, income expands into lifestyle. Every raise gets absorbed. Every bonus disappears. And the gap you think you're creating never actually forms. Rule number 4. Use a fixed allocation system, the 15-50-20-15 rule. This is where things change. Instead of reacting to your spending, you pre-decide your money. 15% goes to investments, your future. 50% goes to essentials, your baseline life. 20% goes to lifestyle things you enjoy. 15% goes to stability, your safety net. Every dollar is assigned before you even see it. Nothing is left floating. Nothing is accidentally spent. And for the first time, your income doesn't control your life. Your system does. Rule number 5. Keep your essentials under control. The 1% don't let their baseline life quietly expand. They cap it, usually at 50% of their income. And within that, two categories matter more than anything else: housing and transportation. Housing should ideally stay around 25 to 30%. That might mean a smaller space, roommates, or a longer commute. Not because you can't afford more, but because your future depends on the margin you protect today. Then there's the car. In 2026, the average car payment is over $770 a month. Add insurance, gas maintenance, and you're easily past $1,000 a month. That's not just a payment. That's a long-term drag on your ability to build wealth. Rule number 6. Build a stability fund before you scale anything else. Most people skip this step, and that's why everything feels fragile. The target is simple: 5 months of essential expenses. If your essentials are $2,000 a month, you need $10,000. If they're $3,000, you're aiming for $15,000. This isn't investment money, it's protection. Because without a buffer, one bad month forces bad decisions, selling investments, taking on debt, starting over. And that's how progress disappears. Rule number 7. Use the right accounts or you're leaving money on the table. Not all money is treated the same, and the 1% take full advantage of that. In 2026, you can contribute up to $24,500 into a 401k with an extra $8,000 if you're over 50. For a Roth IRA, it's $7,500 plus $1,100 if you're over 50. And if your employer offers a 401k match, that's not a benefit. That's a 100% return on your money before it even grows. The system isn't just about saving. It's about where you place your money. Rule number 8. Automate everything. The 1% don't trust discipline. They build systems that remove the need for it. The moment income hits, money moves automatically. 15% invested, 15% saved, 20% for lifestyle, 50% stays for essentials. You don't decide each month. The system decides once and runs forever. If you've never set your money up this way, comment system. At this point, it might seem like the difference is just better habits. Spend less, save more, invest consistently. But that's not actually what separates the 1%. The real difference is deeper. It's not about controlling spending. It's about controlling the flow of money. Most people focus on behavior. They try to be more disciplined, more aware, more careful. But behavior breaks under pressure. One stressful month, one unexpected expense, and everything resets. The 1% don't rely on behavior. They rely on structure. They don't wake up and decide whether to invest. They've already removed that decision entirely. And more importantly, they think differently about what money is for. Most people earn money to spend it. They work so they can afford things. The 1% earn money to own things. Assets, investments, pieces of systems that generate income without their time. That shift changes everything. Because when you stop thinking about money as something to use and start seeing it as something to deploy, you're no longer just earning, you're building. This only works if it becomes automatic, not something you think about, not something you try to be consistent with, something that runs without you. The moment your paycheck hits the system should already be in motion. 15% moves directly into investments. 15% goes into your stability fund. 20% transfers into a separate account for lifestyle, and the remaining 50% stays in your main account for essentials. You don't wait. You don't decide. You don't negotiate with yourself. Because the moment money sits in your account unassigned, it starts to feel available. And that's where most systems break. Set it up once. Adjust it occasionally. But don't manage it daily. Your focus shouldn't be on tracking every dollar. It should be on increasing the amount that flows through a system that already works. So, if you're still asking why your money never seems to stay, it's not because you're earning too little. It's because your money has no system. The 1% aren't playing a different game. They're just playing it with rules that actually work. Once every dollar has a role, once your money moves before you touch it, everything starts to change. Not overnight, but inevitably. Because wealth isn't built by effort alone. It's built by structure. If this made you rethink how you manage money, comment system. And if you want to understand how money actually works at a deeper level, the next video will connect all the dots. And Ted here, thank you for watching my video.